Hello, my name's Steve Davis and I'm a Deputy Director in the Welsh Treasury. And I'm delighted to have the opportunity to talk to you today about the mutual investment model. The mutual investment model is not just about building new public infrastructure. It's also about ensuring that we promote the public interest. The project that I'm going to talk to you about today is a road project, the A465. But it's much more than a road project. It's about promoting the public interest in one of the most disadvantaged areas of the United Kingdom, and in so doing, ensuring that all disadvantaged groups have equality of access. And in that sense, it's a genuine people-first project. I'm going to talk to you about 5 key areas of the project: stakeholder engagement, the well-being of future generations legislation, the replicability of our approach, community benefits, and public investment. So let's start with stakeholder engagement. We did considerable community engagement on this project with those who would be directly affected by it. We engaged with local authorities and other public statutory bodies, with community groups, and with local residents. The engagement took the form of public information exhibitions and also direct dialogue with, for example, local landowners. All of this engagement culminated in our hosting a public local inquiry, which was chaired by an independent inspector. And that inspector's report was made available to Welsh ministers so that when they decided to proceed with the scheme, that decision was informed by, it was shaped by the views of those who would be directly affected by it. Now in Wales, we're really proud that we're the first nation in the world to have legislated to safeguard the interests of future citizens. The well-being of future generations legislation places a duty on public bodies in Wales to work sustainably and to deliver 7 well-being goals. Now, all of our investment, not just infrastructure planning and delivery, needs to help deliver those 7 well-being goals. And those goals resonate really strongly with the Sustainable Development Goals. Now, the A465 project in particular delivers very strongly against 5 of the SDGs. That's Goal 4, Goal 8, 9, 10, and 19, which of course is partnership working, which I'll say more about later. I want to say a few words now about the replicability of our approach. From the very outset, we were really eager to ensure that we had standard documents and standard processes. And that's exactly what we've achieved. We've produced a standardized project agreement or contract, standardized shareholders agreement, and standardized processes for procurement using competitive dialogue, and also for investment appraisal and insurance. Now, what that does is that it helps reduce legal expenses when we're running the competitive dialogue process, but also it makes it really, really clear for us as the public client, but also as bidders for the scheme, precisely what to expect from our contracts during any given situation. We have also intended to make replicability something that could extend far beyond the borders of Wales by putting all of our contract documents on our website and making them freely available. I want to say a word now about community benefits. It was really clear to our ministers that our schemes, and this scheme in particular, needs to deliver community benefits, not during construction, but also during the 30-year operational phase. Project companies need to deliver community benefits in 3 key areas, the first of which is employment. This means project companies need to create employment opportunities, for example, for disadvantaged workers, for the long-term unemployed. They need to create apprenticeship places and also graduate places. The second key area of community benefits is supply chain interactions, where project companies need to promote opportunities for local companies to bid for supply chain contracts. The third area of community benefits is around education, where project companies are required to go into local schools and provide training and development opportunities for young people. Now, all of our community benefits have a value associated with them. And if the project companies fail to deliver these benefits, then those values actually act as financial penalties, which would be deducted from any payments that are due to the project company. Now, in reality, we think that any financial penalties are unlikely because we are working in partnership for the delivery of community benefits. During our procurement processes, we set a baseline of community benefits that project companies must deliver. And during the procurement process, project companies bid to enhance on the baseline, which means they bid to tell us how much more they can deliver during the life of the project. Finally, project companies commit to deliver additional community benefits. And what this means is they come up with ideas for community benefits that aren't included in our baseline. For this project, the A465, I'm delighted to say that the project company has proposed some really exciting community benefits, including committing to plant 30,000 additional trees, which will act as a carbon offset during the construction period. I want to talk a little bit more about additional benefits that we're delivering through this project. All of our project companies are required to mandatory provision to become signatories to the Code of Ethical Employment in Supply Chains. And through our community benefits, we're also promoting opportunities for women in work. For example, on the project company for this project, 2 of the 5 directors are women. Now, I think we all know that the construction sector traditionally has been very heavily dominated by men. I'm delighted to say that on this project, we are achieving a female employment rate, which is 6 percentage points above the industry norm, which is fantastic. The final thing I want to talk about is public investment. Now, from the outset, we were very eager to be an investor in this particular scheme. And we have committed through our local development bank to provide 15% of the risk capital required for this scheme. Now, that achieves 3 important policy aims. It means that through our local development bank, we will have a public director nominated onto the board of the project company. And through that, it means that we increase transparency with the public sector having access to shareholder information and cost data about the performance of project company. It also means that where these projects are profitable, as we expect them to be, a share of those returns come back to the public sector, creating a virtuous circle of public investment. Now, the last thing that I'm going to mention is just a point on the benefits of partnership working. When we started this procurement exercise, we could never have known that we'd be concluding it in the midst of a global pandemic. Now, as far as I'm aware, ours is the first PPP to have reached financial close during a global pandemic. It's the first PPP to have been concluded remotely. And it's the first PPP to have come up with a risk allocation around the treatment of pandemic risk that works for all the parties involved. I really think our success in achieving those aims has been down to the benefits of partnership working. I also think that our success is a real demonstration of our commitment to promoting the public interest. Thank you for your time.